Daniel, I will go to him last, an introduction, and he'll explain the game to us.
So what do you need to put these back?
Oh, sure.
Okay, well, I'll just keep these because I had my
Okay. Here's something.
I had my mouse on the floor.
Cheddar Lions.
I have no idea. They just were close in line.
You want some Cheddar Lions?
I love some cheddar.
Fresh fruit.
My wife doesn't make my breast stink,
You
but
know, I don't know what close you off. It's not that bad in here today, actually.
It's terrible.
Okay,
how's your summer going?
Princess,
Pretty good.
Good.
Okay, open this thing.
You brought a board game. That makes it really easy for me over here, Daniel.
Oh, maybe you should sit this one out.
Oh yeah, just because I've won the last 3 months in a row.
Oh,
Is that a board game?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm the master of games.
Oh, you know what I bet?
Oh, what again?
So where do you start from?
You're looking at it right here.
Okay.
Where do you
So
start?
what's the object to come all the way back through the center?
No, the object is to talk and share.
I love it.
It's like vacuum sealed it or something.
Tell it like it is.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, you gotta try to pray.
Is that the name of the game? Tell it like it is?
No, it's called the Ungame.
Young game?
The Ungame.
Oh, the ungame.
Alex, right
You
here.
don't play games around here.
Yeah, I think you're
The
almost. Yeah.
Ungame. It's not a game.
Yeah, like
It's
almost.
the Ungame.
It's the ungame. We're playing the ungame.
It's a game, but it's not a game.
There we go.
Crazy.
It's a little crazy. Did you get one?
Yes, I did.
Did you get one?
I think so. I think this is mine.
Okay. All right.
How's your summer going, Juan?
It's going very well, thank you. I'm starting a new job next week.
What are you
I
doing?
left Red Hutch after 12 years, and I'm going to Bloodworks Northwest.
That's
So I'm going to be as the director of social impact. So
What does that mean?
a whole bunch of stuff. I'll be
He going
raising awareness around on our blood supply and make sure that people are donating blood. Still creating pathways for young people interested in science and research, and hopefully women and our students of color, and hopefully getting out of the maybe the tech arena and engineering and going to the sciences a little bit.
Wow, James, you want some fruit?
Do you work with
Sure.
people from UW? Any of
Not
our
allergic
UW
to
programs in minority affairs?
Yes, I do. Always have. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The folks over there very well. We found some really good students and have done some really cool things. So,
In what?
That's great.
but yeah, I'm excited.
Because I'm not a STEM program person, but I work with a bunch of them.
That's very good. Well, no, we'll continue to have that conversation.
Thank you.
So yeah, my daughter's about to start kindergarten.
Aww.
My baby.
Wait, now how many are
1
there?
minute.
2. Clemente's 10.
Okay, I'm at
He was staying at home today. He's at home by himself. My wife is
himself?
doing a nanny position, so he's staying at home.
Oh, you could have brought him?
I wanted to bring him, but he wanted to stay at home and watch Pokemon.
Oh, okay. Well, he was like, no.
Damn.
Okay.
And he's folding the furniture. We're cleaning up. We're going to a massive cleanup.
You okay, brother? You will not die on me today.
There we
We're not having that. You know my nerves.
Oh,
Nerves are bad. I can't. Okay. Do you want pineapple?
She's such a good host.
Okay.
Literally, like.
Oh, I did forget. I forgot. I meant to grab a case of water on the way out and I completely forgot.
There's a ton of water.
Oh, good. Okay.
I brought some water in on Saturday.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Go get water if you guys need water.
Yeah,
We'll start.
I'll go get you one.
Can you grab one?
Oh yeah.
Good deal. Good deal.
I'm
I
on
was
this.
just lying. I kept going. I'm forgetting something. I was like, oh shoot. We're not going on yet, are we?
Yep.
Oh, she needs a XLR.
I need a what?
You need an XLR.
What is that?
Cord.
Thing for your.
Yeah, that might help. Thanks, Steve.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right, all right. Thanks. Well, I got one.
You got one?
Thank you.
That water? You got one?
Oh, is that cold? I'm gonna take one.
Oh yeah, mine's cold.
I need a cold one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Juan, I like working with
We came on Saturday. Will and I brought in a bunch of refresh.
All right. Okay, let's go. Hey, peeps, it's your girl K-Cee Deeva here. And yeah, what do you think about this, I call it the Great Seattle Smokeout. Because it's so smoky outside. My day job was actually giving masks to employees, which was nice. You know, the real sturdy ones. I had kind of one of those little kind of flimsy ones you get at the hospital kind of thing, and you know, you know, Princess is sitting here next to me. Princess, you know, we gotta protect all this cuteness.
I know,
like,
you know
what I'm saying?
I have been saying to myself, you know, this is messing up my fitness game because you know how I like to walk.
Yes.
And there's not a mask that looks real cute.
Not at all. Not at all.
So I don't know. I just feel like I'm just stuck inside. I'm being held hostage by this smoke.
I tried to figure out how I can maybe bling out my mask, or
Oh
you know.
my God! You know what I should have brought?
What?
I should have brought I still have those bling stickers
Oh, the
for
bling
you.
stickers. Yes. Okay, not too late because the smoke may not go away fully. They say it is, but we know how other people do.
Okay, next time I'm gonna have
Next
to put
time.
it in my bag
Let's do that. Let's do that.
because you can't be rolling without a.
I can't be real. I gotta have it. All right, welcome peeps to Northwest Connection. It is roundtable time. Woohoo!
Woo!
And we're gonna have some fun. We have some fresh fruit here, some crackers, some ice cold water, and we have, yes, a board game to play. Now we'll get to that in a little bit, but first, if you're just tuning in. Northwest Connection tonight is special because roundtables are an hour. So I get to spend an hour with you, which is so much fun. James, my producer over there, James, how you doing today? You staying out of the smoke?
Well, yeah, I mean, sort of. We were over, like, I've been out and about because we went over to the Jefferson Community Center to do some coverage of a panel over there happening, talking about arts and
Oh, that's right. How'd that go?
It was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Okay.
Got some questions answered for some people.
Yeah.
Did a cool Facebook Live and some stuff.
So it was encouraging people to fund nonprofits, right?
Yes.
Okay. They're encouraging them to donate to the arts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right on. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the show started. Hey, you know, I'm looking. I brought these little crackers in. They're little cheddar lions. They're quite cute. Don't you think so, Princess?
I love them because they stand for Leo the lion. So all of us Leos.
You're a Leo?
Yes, I'm a Leo. What's your sign?
I'm an Aries.
Okay, so
Hard-headed. You can butt right against those horns.
I knew it because my youngest son is an Aries. And I see that in him. You will have to tell me more about your kind.
Most definitely.
Thanks.
Well, if you're wondering who that mysterious deep voice is, that is Mr. Juan Cotto, who is joining the cast of Divas Roundtable. This is the first time he's here. Welcome, Juan.
Thank you so much, and I'm excited to be here.
Yes,
And
yes.
you said board game, so you were speaking my language. I can't wait to get
Trust
started
me,
playing this.
we don't get bored playing the games here. It gets real interesting.
Sort of look what the smoke rolled in, but I'm very excited. I love the show, and
Oh,
I've heard it several
you.
times. And then
Very
spring kind of
kind.
led up before some of our baseball games that we were calling, and I had a chance to listen to you on the ride home, and you guys touched on some interesting topics. And it's always fun to be on our community radio station, Radio Avenue.world.
See,
Radio Avenue Radio.
Radio Avenue Radio.world. Now, Juan, you host a show called NYC.
That's correct.
Talk about the name.
NYC. My buddy Will Sanchez, who is from New York City, he and his wife moved from New York to, she assumed the position at Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center,
Okay.
where I worked for 12 years. And Will and I talk sports every day for an hour or two, depending upon how busy I am at work, of course. And we talked about doing a show, and then I ran into Tony Benton in February at a Franklin High School basketball game. I ran into Tony B, and Tony said, "Hey, you and your friends should check this out and see what we're doing." And we started NYC, so it's sports from coast to coast, and we talk professional sports, we talk college sports, and obviously high school sports in our community. Thursday night, we're excited that Corey Sampson, the head football coach at Rainier Beach High School, is going to join us, and we're going to talk about the Metro League football season, and I'm really excited about that. And we also try to play at things that are going on in our community as well. And Will is really good about that. We've had several community shows where we are really trying to tap into the southeast Rainier Valley community and talk about some of the cool and positive things that are going on for our youth here in our community.
Okay, now Juan, I didn't explain the rules at the beginning, but you get usually about 20 seconds.
Okay.
I'm totally only teasing you. That was a great spiel. Be sure to tune into that show. Some of you guys cover some really cool stuff. All right. I like teasing people.
I'm just shortening the time so I can win the game.
He's trying to get to the board game. All right. Now, usually I do ladies first, but since we had a special guest, I went in with Juan. But
I insist we go ladies first.
yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I'm going to go right to my right. Always at my right hand during the round tables. The beautiful, the one, the only Miss Princess Robin.
Sis.
I feel like there should be some fanfare when we say Princess. Princess Robin.
How's it going?
It is going awesome. It is going awesome.
Thanks for
and
having me again.
of course, I mean, you know, for those who've been sleeping under a rock in the last year or so, they don't know that we're the dynamic duo.
We are the dynamic duo, K-Cee Deeva
Yes.
and Princess Robin.
And you know, we did a show, a radio show for quite some time on
We did.
Radio Avenue Radio.
Living it up with the dynamic duo.
Right, but there's been some changes.
Well, we
Talk
are,
about it.
you know, we had such a big following on social media that we've kind of decided we're going to focus more on our social media presence and show up there and talk about things. And so definitely follow us on Facebook. We're Living It Up. That's living with a G. Living It Up with the dynamic duo. We're on Instagram at Living It Up 206. There's a Twitter one that I always forget, but I'm gonna holla at y'all with that
We'll get that a little
soon.
later.
But check us out because we do pop up live and share our experiences and meet a lot of folks, and you know we have a lot of fun with y'all. So
We have a lot
check
of
us out,
fun.
follow us.
And also, I have dubbed Princess, as of this morning actually, my resident, I like to say relationship goddess.
I like it.
What you think? Pretty good, huh?
Yes. Don't. You know what? Okay. James is looking at me all
James is like,
kinds
"What
of
is going
side
on?"
eye.
You're the one who's like such a hater about relationships.
Look, I know a lot
Oh.
about relationships. I am a realist about relationships,
Very
James
true.
Street.
That's a good thing.
And that is why I am the relationship goddess. Now, I think that that's very fitting for me.
Mhm.
And, you know, a lot of people seek my advice because I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of experience. Right, D-Money?
I was just gonna say, titles go to the experienced ones.
That's right.
See?
That's right. You could learn something from me, James Street, and you just might. You know, you'll never know. I might have a show about it,
No.
Ooh.
about my species and your species.
Little tip there, Princess.
Mhm.
Little something, something.
Just saying.
All right.
And if I do, you need to tune in, James.
That's the thing. The door is always open still
That's
for
right.
you to call and talk about that stuff on my
Oh,
show.
we're gonna talk.
Yes.
We're gonna talk, young
Yes.
man.
The younger male presence that listens to my show in the middle of the night, I'm sure would love some experienced female like perspectives on.
And
on
then
what
they
to
need
do.
it, I'm sure.
Right on. I'm gonna holler.
All right, James, since you're on the mic, harassing the dear princess here, go ahead and talk about your show, James Street.
Oh, we like okay. So last night, I'm trying to remember what we even talked about. But
Wait,
it's
what's the
really
name of the
late.
show for those just tuning in?
No, my show is called After Dark, and I mean I also host Traffic Jam,
Thank
but
you.
my show is called After Dark. And let's see, last night we were talking about a whole bunch of terrible things about how horrible Kirkland Signature Light Beer is, all the way to playing Alex Jones rants over lo-fi hip hop beats.
Okay.
So that was funny.
And you air again tonight at midnight, right?
Yeah, it'll be playing again tonight at midnight. And
Okay.
we had Robbie on for a little while too, because his 50th show was aired last night, the Young
All
Go
right,
show.
Robbie.
So he
Congratulations.
had been
Good show.
texting me about stuff we were saying about sundials and stuff, and so
Okay.
I called him in the middle of the night and
Right
made
on.
him talk on my show.
All right, Juan, I forgot to ask, when is your show on? You didn't tell us.
Our show is on Monday nights at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Lovely Saturday mornings at 10:30.
Okay, right on. Now, last but certainly not least, my homeboy, my friend, D-Money.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up, D-Money, host of
Fresh juice.
Juice.
Yeah.
Now, who's on tonight?
Tonight we got we have a father-son duo known as Lone Wolf and Cub.
Aw, that's cute. Of course, the women go, aw.
We're talking about a couple dudes that rap. I don't know about cute is the right term. Or...
I've heard that a whole bunch of times. So like when showing them to my friends, everybody's like, "That's so adorable."
And they may need relationship advice too.
Right.
Someone
need to
experienced. With a capital E.
Experience relationship advice.
That's right, it's very experienced.
D-Money, talk about your show.
Okay, so Fresh Juice is live Wednesday nights, 9 to 11 p.m. We break new hip hop and R&B, and we interview artists, mostly from the local scene, but sometimes we have national artists call in and bless us with their presence, and we let you get to know them a little bit while we break that new music for you Wednesdays from 9 to 11 p.m.
Okay.
live right here on RainierAvenueRadio.world and on Facebook Live.
Hey, if you're just tuning in, you heard it. RainierAvenueRadio.world is the station. Northwest Connection is the show. I'm K-Cee Deeva. It's an hour-long roundtable. We're going to launch into some topics real soon. And before we do, yes, Princess?
Can I say this? I
Yes,
don't know if
ma'am.
anybody said it, but tune in app. The TuneIn
Yes, the
app.
TuneIn app. Thank
All
you.
of this
Thank
can
you.
be heard on TuneIn app
Yes.
under Rainier Avenue Radio. And so
Smartphone,
if you've got your device,
tablet, yes.
that's a real easy way to catch it.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
just
you,
wanted to throw that
Princess.
plug in.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, D-Money, what's this game we're playing today?
Okay, so we are playing today the Game.
The
Oh,
Ungame.
God.
Game is older than me.
What are you
this,
trying to say?
This game right here was made in 1975.
I'm about to come over there and spank you.
All right, next door. Watch it now. Nothing wrong with
1975. And
This is going to come as a surprise to you, but I'm older than the game.
oh,
As
what?
in I-
No, one. You are too?
Yes, I'm near 100.
These lines
That's why I
are
got so
lying,
much
they're really good.
experience.
They're very tasty.
Well, anyway, the Ungame is a game that's about sharing and conversation.
I don't like okay, I
So
don't like
basically, move around the board with the dice, and there are a couple of squares. There is Tell It Like It Is,
share.
and when you land on Tell It Like It Is, you get to draw a card. So you can
Okay.
choose Lighthearted, Deep Understanding, or the K-Cee Deeva card, where you
Whoa.
get a topic from K-Cee Deeva.
Oh, this is nice, interesting.
Okay, during your turn, you have a couple of minutes
Okay.
to answer the card as honestly as you can.
You said a couple of minutes.
Only a couple of minutes. That's it, Juan. No more than that. And everybody, while you're talking, has to be quiet.
Oh,
No
that's gonna be
talking
hard.
from anybody else while you're doing your
How
turn.
about whistling?
Nope, that's it. That's it for, that's when you get Tell It Like It Is. Now, when you land on Do Your Own Thing,
Yeah.
you can either ask somebody a question,
Okay.
following up on their answer to a previous answer,
Okay.
because you can't question them during their turn, you can't comment on their answer, so you have to wait till you land on Do Your Own Thing,
All right.
or draw a card.
Okay. So I'm gonna talk about something quick, and you. So do we have to start? What do we do?
All we gotta do is roll the dice. Roll the dice, that's it.
You show us, Steve.
Alright, I'll roll first. 2. Okay, I'm grabbing the green. Okay, first one right here. It's-
Okay. What's it say?
Okay, this is a hang-up space.
Mhm.
So it says, if you are not acquainted in your group, reintroduce yourself. And that's it. That's the end of my turn.
So you don't pick a card?
No, not on this one. It's
Oh,
just if you're not acquainted with the group, which we already did. So
Okay, well, roll the dice.
Wait,
Move on.
is this the game that you can't lose?
you cannot lose, you cannot win. This
Okay.
is a conversation.
Okay, I feel kind of bad because poor James is so far away. He can't play the game.
Oh,
So-
that's
We'll
all
draw,
right.
you know what? We'll
Yeah,
roll
well,
for
we
you.
can roll for it, yeah.
James.
I
We'll have a
would
designated
be
roller.
happy to
Throw
roll
the
for
dice
you.
at me.
I will.
All right, come on, Juan, let's go.
I should interject that
Princess
James won the
goes.
last
Oh,
3
ladies
games.
first?
Oh, okay.
Go Princess.
Wait, why
I
are
think
we
you should
skipping
go.
You
across?
should probably
We're
go to
gonna
the
like
left.
this.
You should go to the left. Go to the
Okay.
left. So go one.
wants you to
one
go.
go.
Yeah, so we got
Yeah,
one.
you go one. The Ungame.
Boxcars, baby. Come on.
Boxers.
Come up 7. That's only one dice.
That doesn't work.
That was off the board for those listening. Off the board.
Okay, that's a 5. So move 5 spaces.
All right.
Always bet on the black.
Start with that one. 1.
Where's the pink one?
Okay, so
Right.
tell it like it
Purple.
is. You can choose lighthearted, you can choose deep understanding, or you can choose the K-Cee Diva card.
Let's choose the K-Cee Deeva card.
Okay, only Juan can talk.
Okay. So what do I say?
So ask him a question, give him a topic,
Okay.
and he has to respond.
All right. Which one? Okay, Juan. How about this? Oh, because you have kiddos they're under 16, right?
Yes, they are, both of them.
Okay.
10 and
Question.
5.
All right. Do you think a brand new Porsche is an appropriate birthday gift for a 16-year-old?
It's interesting because I drive a Cadillac, and my son, who's 10 years old and 6 years, sa's he's going to get the Cadillac.
Oh.
So, which is an interesting point of conversation. But here's what I've told him, and it's appropriate for if the parent wants to give their kid whatever car they want to give them. That's
Right.
a choice of the parent.
Sure.
I assume it's coming from the parent.
Yes, it is.
But the thing is that I think that for any car, especially an automobile, kids drive. Young people take care of automobiles in 2 different ways, and it all depends upon one thing: who's paying for the insurance and who's paying for the gas.
Oh.
So I told Clemente, this is what I told him: in 6 years, if you would like to have this car, you are going to pay for the insurance, and you're going to pay for the gas. And what studies have shown is that kids drive the car much safer, and they also drive it much slower, and because they're paying for their own gas, they don't drive it as often. So whoever is giving out that car, if they are putting the burden on the child to pay for the gas and the insurance, the young person becomes much more responsible, and I think it would be an appropriate gift.
Okay, well, Juan says that so I'm going to tell you who. Candy Burris, are you guys familiar with her?
Yes.
She was in the group Escape. She's now a reality TV star. Atlanta Housewives, reality show. She's a producer now. Definitely has the money. She bought her 16-year-old daughter a Porsche. And, of course, critics online were like, okay, right, you're a celebrity. Of course, you're going to buy some expensive car for your daughter. She, like you said, it's her right. But I guess I asked the question, Princess, because you have chillins too. Do you think that's a good, 16, that's awfully young. Shouldn't they have to work for it themselves, or what do you think?
So, being the princess that I am, 2 things. I think go ahead and give that kiddo a car as soon as they can get their license, because otherwise you are driving the bus all over creation. That was the philosophy that my parents had. My dad could not wait to get his little senior citizens pass and jump on the bus and give the keys to me. And I had the same feeling when my son number 1 was old enough to get his license. I was like, let's make this happen, kid. Let's make this happen. You take this car, and actually, I'm very lucky. I have a very responsible child.
Yes,
So,
you do.
Even though I
Very
felt
sweet.
like, you don't have a lot of things coming in, I'm going to help you with this, I'm going to help you with that. He's very responsible for paying for his own gas and, offering to pay for things. And, he's a responsible driver. So I know that if he's the one behind the wheel, then he's in better shape than people I don't know.
Right.
So I was happy to give him the car. Now, I can't afford to buy him a car. So we just did a little pass around like you guys did, or you're talking about doing it. As a matter of fact, I got a Cadillac from my daddy.
Nice.
And
The Cadillac's a popular car.
then Pumpkin got the Malibu. But,
I once again I think though that the type of car and the price of the car is all relative, right? I mean, this is a very successful producer, so she may be in position to purchase her child a Porsche, but once again, and I think that K-Cee brought up a good point. I think that there should be some sort of sense of responsibility with that, and I think insurance and the gas is a realistic way of making sure that the child is responsible for those particular areas. It sounds like the same thing that you have done with your son as well.
Agree. And I will say this, there is the whole notion that if she's starting with a Porsche, I hope
Yeah.
baby girl gets has the kind of income that she can maintain that lifestyle,
maintain it.
because otherwise she's gonna feel like, what's this raggedy, you know?
Right. But starting at the income level that her mother has worked and achieved,
Exactly.
she's going to have inroads and connections, and that's the beautiful thing about where they're at in that entertainment business.
Yeah.
They've got the contacts, they've got the connections. If she has an inordinate amount of ambition, she's got her steps all the way, really halfway there, because her mother has put that time, effort, and work in.
Yeah.
And so I, and I'm sure. I mean, did it say anything about how her mother responded to the criticism on the internet or anything?
Right. No, it did not.
It didn't.
It did not. I just put it out there. Okay, we're getting close to a break. And so going to break, we'll talk about this when we come back. I want you to think about it. Nicki Minaj, you may have heard this. She's in the news again. She was at 105.1 radio station a little while back. And she got into it, I guess, with one of the DJs there, DJ Self. He basically said, hey, Cardi B's album's better than yours, which is her rival. Nicki Minaj being the queen diva that she is, lashed back and basically kind of threatened him and said she had some blanks that could come up there and get at him. And so now the other DJs at the station are like, hey, we shouldn't play our music anymore. That's ridiculous. Why are you, just because of his opinion, why are you going after this DJ? So we're going to play her song, one of her latest, Chun Li, real quick, as we go into break. And then we come back, we're going to talk about it a little bit more. All right? Okay, well, I'll give the sign that I only have 2 minutes left. So why don't we play another round of this board game here?
A sign that you have 2 more minutes.
I'm rolling for you, James. You got a 5.
Okay.
What color do you want? White, yellow, orange, or brown?
Orange.
Orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tell it like it is. You can choose lighthearted, deep understanding, or a K-Cee Deeva card.
Deep.
Deep understanding.
Oh boy. Okay, we
Here
have
is
2
your
minutes.
question, James. When was the last time you cried, and why?
Oh man.
Honest, James.
Super honest. Well, I remember a really long time ago on one of these specific roundtables, I talked about how that we were talking about movies that make us cry, and I was talking about a very specific one. And so I was working on this music video recently, and it's one of my favorite movies, and they just put it back on Netflix. So I had it on in the background. I was working on this music video for inspiration. Definitely.
And you cried again?
Definitely drawing some tears. It's a rough movie, man. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's a Jim Carrey film, but it's like really, really dark and kind of uncomfortable to watch. You like heartbreak stuff, Robin. You'd probably be pretty into that.
Oh, was that a slight diss?
No, I just know you're into
No.
heartbreak stuff.
Wait, I'm into
No.
crime and,
I was gonna say.
and thrillers and murder.
You're way off
Action
base on that one.
If it's gonna make me cry, like,
This is an action and
yeah.
adventure princess.
Exactly.
See, I like things that I don't feel.
Oh, okay. So,
So
you're
am I
actually
gonna feel?
against that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I might watch it just because I've heard so
Okay,
much about it.
You have a
and-
lot of experience. You should check it out.
Oh Jesus.
D-Money,
well,
D-Money, is there a movie that would make you cry that you can think of?
I'm gonna save that for my turn.
What?
Was it?
I was gonna say for your turn.
I'm sorry. Is this just a movie, or when was it just the last time you cried?
I don't know. I'm curious about a movie.
Was that? Well, I'll tell you. The last time I cried.
Okay, hold that thought.
Okay, all right,
Hold that thought
yeah.
one. Now we're gonna go to Chun Li, Nicki Minaj, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about her when you come back. You're listening to Northwest Connection, K-Cee Deeva, my friends here, Princess Robin, D-Money, Juan Cotto, James Street. It's Roundtable. We'll be back in a flash.
Damn, that was solid.
That was
I
good, huh?
forget what it's called, but when you hit that point of where the
Hit the
you
post.
talk- oh, yeah.
Hit the post. You hit the post.
Perfect. That was so solid.
That was good. Good job, James.
I can't wait to go back and listen to that. That just like, I was trying to do that by accident, but it's really hard telling when somebody's gonna cut off. And
When you said 2 minutes, I thought, oh crap, I talked too long. We couldn't put
you
a
told
song.
me to count you down
Boom.
to the song.
And I completely forgot. Thank you.
Can I get some more fruit?
Absolutely. I'm sorry.
I can get it. I just didn't want to like.
Here, you just want pineapple too.
Oh, thank you.
I actually like this one. Yeah, so apparently she threatened this DJ.
Wait, so she's
Better be careful.
That's Nicki Minaj?
That's another personality she has.
Oh.
So there's Chun-Li. What's the other one? She's got another one. Roman something. What is it? It's
That doesn't look like her.
Okay.
That's her though?
Chun-Li.
I can't keep up with these.
Yeah, I can't either.
These hip hop artists. I can't keep up with them. These are
Aretha Franklin was just Aretha Franklin.
Right.
Aretha Franklin was just Aretha Franklin. She came out like Chung Aretha.
We gotta talk about that, and then we'll give a shout out to Aretha. Rest in peace.
Oh my goodness.
So there's news after this, right, Jamie?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's going fast.
It is one now.
I like this. This is a good crew.
It is.
Juan, I'm liking it. Good, you're doing good. Good job. Good job.
I like this game too.
I like this game,
It lends
too.
itself
Yeah.
to the
It's my turn.
conversation. Good job.
Whose turn is it?
It's
Is it
mine, I
Princess?
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's see what topic I'm gonna throw you choose.
James, to be clear, I like murder and mayhem, and I warn against breaking hearts.
I need you.
I believe hearts get broken.
So I just would like I was pretty sure just with like that just seemed like your style was like really unhappy relationship movies. Like the
That
like
might be.
dark,
I'm gonna check it
because
out.
it's creepy too. It's not for like
Jim Carrey, creepy.
oh yeah, it's horrifying. It's yeah, it's a really messed up movie. It has to do with deleting pieces of your mind, specifically people out of your mind and stuff. And
That's
it's
what I
horrifying.
do though. Okay.
That's why it's so sad.
So
It's
I'm gonna
'cause
watch
it's really
it.
real.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's really
I
real.
call it erasing people from my life.
Yeah, there's about an actual procedure for that.
That's it.
Well, now I'm sold. Now I'm gonna watch it.
You know,
Because you know how
I'm
they
kind
say.
of like that too. I feel like, yo,
We should
Oh,
watch
just a
it.
thumbs up. Okay, that's it.
did you get the second song then?
Yeah.
Did you watch Insecure this week?
Mm-hmm.
I have to go back and watch it from the beginning. I saw the end.
Watch it because you know what they do with that show is
Who's doing the news?
700 rooms.
Oh, you do it. So, this is just a loop of you cover.
like
That's awesome.
like a social media, like get together and then like catch up on the last 3 episodes. And, like, you know what I mean? Like have some fun and go back.
For sure.
Because it's a popular show.
We still should have our cocktails. Man, I told you I got the drink menu.
No.
The cocktail
Oh,
recipes.
oh, right on.
It's like 300 pages.
Really?
Somebody gave it to me for my birthday. My brother-in-law. He knows my heart.
That.
Cocktail recipes.
Cocktail
Wow.
recipes.
Were you a bartender?
He might have
Never.
I need you to. Oh, you said quiet.
At least 4 of the 12 need to approve the application, which then would send the proposal to the city council.
He's listening to himself. He's listening to himself on the radio.
Do money.
You guys know him yet today?
I'm the one
You
who
okay?
has the Valium.
I've been up
Did
since
you have a
6.
Valium?
While the case is still open.
Oh, my man, how are you?
Lucius!
Good to see you, buddy.
Lucius. There's the microphone for you. Usually on the show. He's the man in this.
Oh, sorry.
I see how he is.
I don't think you're sorry.
That wasn't very convincing at all. Just saying. I just assumed you'd be here. And you were here, and then you left. That's no fruit.
Would you like some fruits?
I'm good.
Some fruit. All right, slide me some pineapple.
Yeah, I'm done after this. I just love water.
I didn't eat lunch. I was so hungry.
Where'd you guys go over today?
Where did we go over? Well, we just jumped right in with the game.
Yeah, we have to.
And so topics
You're
are
talking about
emerging.
Yes, thank you.
Ungame.
It's 16. Buying a 16-year-old a Porsche appropriate. That was one of the topics. What do you think? What do you think?
We want to hear from you.
A brand new Porsche, not like a hand-me-down.
Did they earn it?
Well, no, celebrity.
Do you know of an engaged
Yes, you
family
brought-
member who should be featured in
That's right.
today's spotlight?
I've got the Donnie and Marie microphone.
I was
Me and,
Tell us about
I
it.
think the two who have the Donnie and Marie should
Contact
sing.
us by emailing
I'm a little bit
rainieravenueradio.world@gmail.com.
And you're a little
Once again,
bit rockin'.
K-Cee.
rainieravenueradio.world@gmail.com.
Hey peeps, it's your girl K-Cee Deeva here. Back on the mic. We are Northwest Connection is what we are. I'm K-Cee Deeva. It's a roundtable show and we're having lots of fun here. We've got a board game. What's the game called again, James? I'm sorry.
The person across the room has no idea.
We should explain it. But poor James. James actually won the last 3 games. And unfortunately, just somehow, ironically, this board game he can't play because he has to engineer the show and he's way across the room.
I don't know. Last time I checked, I'm pretty sure I'm tied for the lead right now. So.
Is someone someone's playing your turn, right?
Remember
I
when did
forgot.
you last cry?
Right, that's right. So James
every night and morning.
James manages to win whether he's actually physically playing the game or not. All right, D-Money, what's it called?
The game is called the Ungame.
The Ungame. And you said it's ancient, right?
So the game, 1975 is when it came out.
As some of the people
K-Cee
at
calls
the
it
table.
ancient. That's not my words.
I remember I used to drink the Uncola.
The Uncola, right? Okay, so before we get back to the game, we went into break. We were talking about Nicki Minaj, and she went to 105.1 radio station. DJ Self, a very popular DJ at the station. If you guys are familiar with the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne the God and those guys, Angela Lee, their show. So it's one of the DJs there, one of their friends. Well, they were ranting on and on because apparently Nicki Minaj was upset that DJ Self said that Cardi B's album is better. So if you don't know Cardi B, she's another rap artist. And I guess she's in the category or along those lines of Nicki Minaj. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? I think they're both kind of equal playing field. What do you think, Princess? Oh, yeah, okay. Lucius, Princess, just a mouthful of fruit.
I don't actually know who Cardi B is.
Okay. Well, that says.
I listened to like 2 songs of
Nicki Minaj.
so I have no idea.
So Lucius joined us. He had some station work to do, but he's back. And he joins us every show now. We like to have him sitting at the table. Now, James, what do you think? Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Club music, no comment.
Okay, D-Money, you're the hip-hop guru here. What do you think?
Same level.
Same level? You think so?
Yeah.
See, I disagree. Now, I'm not fond of Nicki Minaj because I think she's just too full of herself and she's just too full of herself. I like Cardi B because, she fought her way in and she had that instant fame and is enjoying it. But I think Nicki is a better rap artist if I had to choose one. What do you think, Juan?
I'm not familiar with either one of the. I am actually born before this game.
As am I.
All right. Okay. So anyway, the real part of the story
Nicki's
is
better though.
Nicki
Yeah,
better.
way better.
I think
I'll take your word. I'm not even gonna
I
argue
think
for it.
Nicki's better too, though I don't like either one.
Hey, Robin and I share that opinion too.
You guys share.
That's exactly how I feel. Is I don't like either one, but if we had to go based
if you had
on
to pick-
skill, Nicki's way better.
I
James,
agree.
maybe we should discuss it over drinks.
I'll just
Okay, here
I'll
we
just
go.
say,
Kidding.
that I've deduced that Nicki is better because I've actually heard of her, but I haven't heard of Cardi B.
Yeah, right, Cardi B. Well, okay. Well, in this case, this DJ said Cardi B's out. He didn't say she was a better artist. He said this particular album is better than Nicki's new one, which ticked Nicki off. And then she threatened him, kind of, sort of. Said she has some guys to come up there and get him, yada, yada, yada. So, my point is, it's his opinion. I mean, we bag on artists all the time.
Right,
I mean, it's
right.
kind of part of the. If you're a DJ, if you're a talk show host, we're always talking about people, right, Princess? I mean, it's part of the fun.
Especially James Street, who was talking about that one.
Oh, what was his name?
Can we have one time where we don't?
Okay, we won't say the name.
Yeah,
It's
one
just-
time,
it was a
but
good
that's
joke.
not right away.
It was a good joke until it was a bad joke.
But you get my point. It's like, Nicki, calm down, because they're threatening not to play your records.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
That's
Don't go for
too,
the DJs.
Well, let's look at
Too big for her
it like this.
Exactly.
So somebody who is an influencer and a music critic says one artist's album is better than another artist's album, and you threaten them in a non-musical way. Nicki should have just went back to the studio and with her amount of money that she has to go and make more music and busted out something gnarlier than Cardi B.
Exactly, a diss track. That's what it should have been, a diss track at the most.
We live in this is the age of diminished expectations, K-Cee. And my mother did 3 things for me. Number 1, she sent me to O'Day High School, as you know. Number 2, she read us the Bible when we were young. And number 3, she played Aretha Franklin records when we were babies and growing up, and that was the first music that we listened to. And the Queen of Soul passed away last week, and I would take the Queen of Soul over Nicki Minaj.
Well, you brought up a good point earlier, Juan. You said she didn't come out with, Nicki Minaj has all these alter egos,
Right.
Chun-Li and something Roman, and and artists then didn't have to do all
No.
that. It's gimmicky.
It was all on talent, and Aretha Franklin was loaded with talent.
Yes, she was. Man, she
And
was
an amazing voice, and still just can't speak what the word iconic is bandied about in so many different ways now, and it's become a part of the American lexicon, and sometimes it's used so inconsistently. Aretha Franklin is the iconic voice of that 1960s era, that Motown era, and her music is timeless, and she will deeply be missed.
Yes, she was. Quick fact I read about today as they, dive deeper, celebrity dies, and they go on and on for a few days. She didn't have a will. And there was
And she had millions
that's what I'm
of
saying.
dollars.
I was like, she didn't have a will. They said she's divorced, and she didn't leave her money to any. I mean, but here's the thing: a lot of stars, Michael Jackson didn't have a will. That's why there's still chaos about his estate and so on. You would think with his kids, right? He would, Amy Winehouse, Bob Marley. There was a whole list online of all these artists that had all this money. With Prince, he didn't have a will when they died, and so then what happens?
I'm leaving my tiara to my son to give to his queen.
Oh,
I'm
But you-
leaving my debt to whoever my next husband gets to be.
But you brought it up, K-Cee. What happens is chaos.
yeah.
It is chaos. It's families fighting families.
Money.
Yeah, and that money could be used to impact so many different issues that we have, especially in our African American communities across the country, because there's so much of it, and I'm sure that the families would be able to take some interest in some of the things that are going on in our community.
Right.
But the fact that they get tied up in court, and the only people who end up making money are attorneys, and a lot of times they're record producers and all those folks.
Yeah, James.
Yeah, I would say a bigger one even on top of just the money is that because all these families are pretty well off regardless if they're getting the entire estate, but unreleased art. So many times is there a ton of unreleased music and it gets into the wrong hands because it was not placed into the right hands by form of will. Somebody, Martin Shkreli or somebody like that gets their hands on all the good unreleased music that the world will never see because eventually it starts getting sold off because the wrong people get their hands on it. They sell it for billions of dollars to somebody who has no reason to ever release it to the public. And so, that's like all of Nirvana's stuff and, John Lennon's stuff and all of that, just all that unreleased music. I imagine so much of Prince's stuff. There's probably a vault.
There was a vault. Right.
Yes.
I heard
that may
at
never
least
see the light of day.
close to 250 unreleased songs
Yep.
that he did.
That's crazy. D-Money, weigh in on this because you're all about the music. What do you think? You know, James?
Are we still talking about Nicki Minaj?
No. Okay. D-Money, I made you pay attention.
Somebody give him
All
some
right, we're gonna move on to the game. Princess D-Money.
Wait, are you playing Lucius? Because if so, it's your turn.
Okay, Lucius is gonna roll the dice here. We're playing the ungame.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay,
but
just roll the
roll it.
dice.
Okay.
What color?
What color? Brown, yellow,
He
white.
picks brown.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you have the choice of choosing lighthearted, deep understanding, or the K-Cee Deeva card.
Deep understanding.
Okay.
Oh,
Your
who
question,
is the Deeva
Lucius. Share a time when you had hurt feelings.
I don't know why that's funny.
Why are you laughing?
Because, like
I
me, your
hurt
heart is
feelings.
made of stone.
Hey, man, Princess.
When someone didn't compliment me on my hair Because my hair is just, it's amazing.
Okay.
He sounds like Nicki Minaj.
Right.
I get hurt feelings when my hair is not given justice.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you heard it here first on Northwest
Justice for
Connection.
Lucius.
If you ever see Lucius anywhere, please compliment his hair, peeps. Okay, compliment
He
his
will
hair.
have hurt feelings.
He will
over
have
it.
hurt feelings.
In most people's defense, you typically have a hat on when I see you.
That's true. You sure do.
That's true, but that's because I got a new job that requires me to wear a hat.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay.
so in your old job, when I met you a year ago, you were always in a hat. In fact, usually when I would see you,
In a hat.
you would put your hat over
Okay.
your face like, don't talk to me, princess.
Yeah, it was a leather. It was a
You
leather.
won.
Yeah, I
You
remember.
won. You're one. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, we got to keep it moving because there's a lot of stuff to cover. Okay, Princess.
It's
Hey,
my
first
turn.
up, if you're just tuning in, it's RainierAvenueRadio.world, Northwest Connection, your girl K-Cee Deeva. I've got some friends, some hosts who are playing a game now. And Princess, are you trying to cheat? What's going on over there?
I was trying to keep it moving, but I didn't like the
She didn't
do-over.
like the
She
do-over.
rolled
She
a
rolled
one.
one.
Just move. It doesn't matter.
Do the yellow token and tell it like it is.
Okay.
Because in
Lighthearted,
there.
deep understanding, or K-Cee
I'm
Deeva.
telling it like it is, so I get to choose.
You get to do lighthearted, deep
I'm
understanding,
going
or
with
K-Cee
the
Deeva.
K-Cee Deeva. She has the topics today.
I
That's what I'm
got
talking
the
about.
topic, and I got the perfect topic for you, Princess.
Oh, well then.
Oh, please.
Bonus.
All right. So, let's hear your thoughts on this. One of my favorite shows, The View, because Whoopi Goldberg hosted. She makes me laugh. Okay. They talked about a little bit earlier this week. They did a show, and one of their segments was there was a study that came out that says that men prefer to date less intelligent women. Thoughts, Princess? Go. Is it true? What do you think? Now I'm going to ask the guys. I'm curious to hear their opinion.
Let me think. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, I'm gonna say unconsciously they do.
Really?
I think unconsciously they do.
Why were you counting? Were you counting your husband?
Hey, play nice here.
She was counting.
I'll get you later.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I was just thinking of my vast experience. And I will say that being that the first thing of attraction is typically visual.
Right. Physical attraction.
I think that it seems to me that men first go for the hot chick, right? And then they either decide that she is too, too much for them.
Gold digger.
Yeah, because you're supposed to shut up and you're supposed to be quiet and look pretty, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
like, why you always want to talk to me about what you did today, or
Yeah, that's always-
what's up with the politics? You know, it's like I have a brain too. I have a master's degree. I am a manager of people. I am almost 100 years old, and
You're
so
older than the game.
you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Got me a couple of points. First of all, is that from my experience, the women have always bugged me for my money.
Money or your mind? You want?
It's
My
just
men
been
have
like,
always
they
been
gold
broke.
digger. They've always wanted me for my money.
Okay, but do you
seriously,
like
I would
less-
say
less intelligent women?
I would say this is a trick question because in my experience, women are smarter than men.
And that's why we
So,
end up
like-
getting passed along because
Right.
they're like, oh, she's too, and then it usually ends up being
Right.
some corny like.
Yeah, to me, this is a trick question to me because I have never in my experience dated a woman that I was actually smarter than. So
Okay, so but okay, let me ask you this: would you prefer beauty or brains?
I in my own personal opinion, I think all women are beautiful. So
You're married, aren't you?
I am.
I was like, see, that's a married guy's answer because he doesn't want to get in trouble. That's okay. Let's
Tune
y'all
into
We'll
Juan's
let
new
y'all-
show, How You Need to Be About Women.
Right.
Coming soon.
And it's real simple. I mean, I have a mom, I have a wife, I have a daughter.
Right.
What do you need me to do? Yes, I'll do it. Yes, Mom.
Most
yes,
people
Sarah.
have a
Yes,
mom
Sarah.
or had one
Right.
at some time.
I
That is
just
not a
do what I'm asked.
D Money, beauty or brains?
I have to choose one or the other.
One or the other.
Oh wow. If I have to choose, it's beauty.
It's beauty.
Yes.
So you would like someone, you wouldn't mind having someone that's, say a 10, but in the brain, she's like a 2.
No. No.
So you don't want
There you
less intelligent.
I don't want one or the other.
Okay, you want it all.
I want it all.
There's a lot of demands that are going on.
Well, that's what I want.
But you know what? You can have it. Not it, but
Well,
there are women out
I
there who are
understand you can have
beautiful
that too.
and there are women out there who are beautiful and smart. So what I appreciate is men who value both of
Exactly.
those pieces. But that
All
takes
right.
a strong
K-Cee?
mate.
Yes, sir.
Young guy, ancient guy.
Oh, the difference of opinions. Gosh, this time is going quick. Okay, I need at least one roll of dice here before
Please, two,
I got
save
a 2.
us.
Where am I going? 1,
Okay.
2.
If you have not acquainted yourself with your group, please
Okay, that's
introduce
done.
yourself. Okay, why don't you just roll again?
Roll
I'm
again.
gonna roll again. That was done. I like that.
Great.
3. Am I white?
Yes. Yes.
You're the
Tune
white.
in
I'm
to
actually not
K-Cee's
white,
new
but
show.
I'm the white piece.
Okay, you better tell it like it is.
Tell it like it is.
Okay. K-Cee Deeva.
Yes. What is it?
Lighthearted or deep understanding?
I want lighthearted.
Okay, lighthearted.
Oh.
For K-Cee
Light-
Deeva.
Oh, okay.
Where would you like to go for vacation if you could go any place in the world?
Oh, there's a couple only one.
Only one place.
Oh, I'm gonna say the Caribbean.
Ooh, the Caribbean.
I would like to be on the beach right now with a nice strong drink
Yeah.
What's the drink?
and Shamar Moore by my side. Okay. Oh, what's
Like
the
you
drink?
said, beauty over brains.
I guess I just stole my answer. That's a good one. All right, who just rolled?
I just rolled a 3.
Okay,
Looks like you're ready. I'll take the K-Cee Deeva card.
All right, all
Okay,
right.
so-
Let's see. Topic. Ooh, okay, I got one. Since we're on the topic of romance and relationships, let's just keep it going. There's a show called 90 Day Fiancé. Princess, you're familiar?
I've heard of it, yes.
Okay, I keep telling her about this show. I'm like, you
Crazy
gotta
stuff,
watch
too.
the show. So real quickly, the show is it's on TLC, and it's people that try to find love abroad. So they meet people online. There's a woman that traveled she found someone in Africa. There's a guy that found someone in Colombia. I mean, they're going far places to find love. And so
You have to.
well, and what's funny, right? And what's funny is, we get to watch these things unfold. And so far, and it's the 3rd episode, so far, the people that are abroad waiting on the Americans to come, they've just been clowning them. Like, oh, he looks fatter than he did online. Or, oh, she's not as attractive in person. Or, I mean, they're just really, it's an interesting show. And so, my question is, who am I talking to?
It's Daniel.
Okay, yeah. By the way, who asked this question?
D-Money.
So, D-Money, my question for you is, I have 2 things actually. How far would you go for love? Would you go abroad?
How far?
Yeah. Would you if you met someone online, would you travel overseas to meet them? Someone you don't know at all.
No, I'm not down with the online dating. I think you're starting out wrong. You need to form that connection.
That just rolled into another topic.
In a visual sense.
James, would you like to weigh in on that?
There's so much wrong with that, and it starts with depends on who's paying. Okay.
Who's
The
paying
whole-
what?
yeah.
The date?
Who's paying?
Who's paying for me to go across seas? Man? They paying. Yeah. But if I go to pay, I don't know how I mean.
Well, you're forgetting where you're going.
Anywhere. If I get to travel for free,
No.
I'm
Russia?
really down.
These people are
I
paying
know.
out of their own pockets. And in fact, there's one
North Korea?
woman who took a baby. She has an 8-month-old baby.
Oh,
And
she's smoking.
And she traveled to London to meet this guy who's a little strange.
She's about to surprise him.
Well, she gets there, and he's not there yet to pick her up. And she says, oh gosh, I hope he shows up. I'm staying with him and his mom. He lives with his mom, yes. I'm staying with him and his mom, and I have no money. So you travel abroad with the baby with no money.
I got a
Who
question
does
about this show. So are these people promised to marry
Yeah.
before they go out there and meet them?
No, they aren't promised. So they call it 90-Day Fiance because the people that are traveling are the ones taking the ring, hoping that this person is going to marry them. So they don't know. So they go and they stay over there. Well, they go over there, and I think it depends on the couple. Like one stayed a month, one stayed 3 weeks, whatever, and then they come over here and kind of see what life is like here. By the end of the 90-day experience, they decide whether to get married.
Never marry. Never marry in 90 days?
That's crazy.
That's some
Well,
craziness.
that's the television element of it, but
Yeah.
it goes back to me a simpler point, and that is the whole concept of the internet. And Daniel touched on it earlier. Whether you're on television or not, I mean, what you show and what you see on Facebook or what you see on social media is this image that basically is created by the person. And so it's just really, really interesting. I mean, on average in a city like Seattle of about 700,000 people or whatever the population is, there's probably 20,000 people right in your own back door.
Right.
That are for you. But here's these people who see this image on the internet and they're willing to fly all over the world for probably something they can get within their own neighborhood within a 5-mile radius. But because it's been packaged, they feel the need to do that.
Or they've been catfished and it's not that person. You got Denzel Washington up there. I'm just saying.
Real quick though, because I'm in a wonderful relationship that did start on the internet, but also within a 5-mile radius of myself. And I have to say, I've been doing the online dating thing for a while. I have a lot of experience, and I don't see any issue with people knowing what they want and going to a specific place for it. Because as a bit of an introvert, I don't like going out to clubs and bars and blah blah blah.
Amen, brother.
But let's talk about the extremes, though.
Yeah, the extremes. No. Okay, I gotta say some thank yous before we wrap up. I will just throw this out there, Princess. Sounds like a good topic to me. For your repertoire of show topics.
Well, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Princess Robin. Thank you, Lucius. Thank you, Juan Cotto.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you, D Money. Thanks for bringing the game, D. This was a lot of fun. Thank you, James Street, for holding it down, producing for me. Thank you, my listening peeps. Thank you, Tony B, K-Cee Deeva, AC Soul. Until next week, back to our regular time, 6 to 6:30, Northwest Connection with your K-Cee Deeva. I'm gonna leave you with the song that I feel very fitting for the weather outside. Okay.
It's frightful.
It's frightful and it's smoky and it's the Ohio Players fire. Later, peeps.
Once again, that was a pretty
Yes.
solid hit
Yeah, I
the post.
feel that.
Like as soon as he hit
Yes.
fire, you would just stop
Yes.
and raised up to it.
I
That
raised
was two real
That's
good
a goal. I'm
ones.
gonna start when we do this now. When I play a song.
Practice with how much time you
Yeah,
have. You'll
I'ma
hear
do
when I
that.
start it and try and lead up to a
Can
point.
you upload that after upload to Dropbox?
Yeah, I
That's
got
fun.
That is fun. We get it.
Huh?
We get it.
This was fun, you guys.
This was fun. Thank you so much, Juan.
This was
I can't believe that was an hour. I can't believe that was an hour.
I told it
Wow,
goes
it
quick.
goes so fast.
It goes quick. And I didn't get through half topic. We had Kanye West, his song talking about he wanted to smash all his sister-in-laws.
Yeah. Shoot.
Yeah.
Usher.
Hey D, you should probably grab your phone and finish it up. I think Marquise is trying to get a hold of you about something.
Are we still on?
Because he was messaging you.
Are we still on Facebook?
No.
Huh?
Are we still on
But
Facebook?
he's been sending you messages.
Yeah,
trying to
we
ask
must
you
be
questions.
Are we
because
still? Okay,
nobody went over
let's
there.
shut that
Well,
off.
yeah, just yeah.
I'm like,
What's up, Tony?